Hi everybody, I'm here reporting on last night's game at Ibrox where Rangers beat Dundee by 5 goals to 2. I'd like to say this was the best game of the season. We were fantastic, played wonderful flowing football, made no mistakes in defence, um, entertaining, exciting football with real enthusiasm and pace. Even the referee was brilliant, competent, fair, didn't make any mistakes. VAR didn't have to be called upon. It was just a fantastic experience, great entertainment for the final game, league game of the season at Ibrox. I'd like to say that, but unfortunately, it wasn't all that I've just said. It was one of the most ridiculous performances I've seen for a long time. That's saying quite a bit. I've heard people on TV since saying it was a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Well, no, it wasn't. It was a hide and hide performance. The first half was unbelievably bad, and the second half was better, but still nowhere near how Rangers teams should be playing. So forget this game of two halves, although I suppose in a way it was, if you look at the stats, all the Jekyll and Hyde stuff. It was better in the second half, but we have a long way to go, and we'll never see that team playing again together. The players that made it up, and even the youngsters who came on for the last 20 minutes or whatever it was. We started reasonably well actually, and we should have been, I think, 2 or 3 up before they actually scored because the first chance, well, it wasn't even a chance. Yilmaz um, eluded the defender. He was 20 yards out from goal, right in the middle, and he cracked a beautiful shot which the goalie had to dive and save, so that was a good effort. Then Silva was put through by Drossers of all people. He got between two defenders, got the ball, only the goalie to beat. Slight angle, should have been in the far post, and instead of keeping it low, he lifted it and it hit off the bar and away to safety. So that was a bad miss. Then we had Drossers getting onto the end of a chip into the box by Tavernier. Only the goalie to beat. He didn't actually get to the ball because the defender behind him just stretched out both arms and pushed him in the back, and he went forward onto his face. Not even a VAR check. I mean, that's the most ridiculous stonewall penalty you'll ever see, and they didn't even check it. I mean, two arms out, pushing him in the back. Come on, it's not rugby. I mean, you're not supposed to be doing that in a game of football. It's called football, but nothing. And in fact, after that, what I thought was a sitter at the time, this is still nothing each, by the way. McCausland, I thought missed a sitter, so I was cursing him because as I saw it, he was given the ball, he ran by the last defender, only the goal to beat, inside the box, obviously. He hit it high and the goalie tipped it over the bar, so I thought that was a shocking miss. I'm going to now excuse him because having seen it again on my recording when I got home, as he went past the defender, the guy just shoved him in the chest. So he was actually falling over as he kicked the ball, as he shot. So no wonder he couldn't keep it low. Again, nothing doing, no VAR check or anything. So obviously this mob think you're allowed to shove people in the box when they're on the ball or running to get the ball. So well done, Anthony McDermott, another newcomer, another up and coming dud. He'll be rivaling the experienced duds in a couple of years' time. Probably another Mason doing his best to help Rangers. Yeah, that'll be right. One straight out of the Lawwell School of Refereeing. He'll probably get the cup final in a week and a half. So bad was he last night. So anyhow, forget about him. I don't even want to think about him. The number of fouls he let go on Cantwell, they obviously had it in for Cantwell every time somebody went near him, they fouled him, especially the big guy Silla, who followed him about the whole game practically, fouling him at will and hardly ever conceding a foul when he was doing it. So well done, referee. So anyhow, with all these chances, I'll say all these chances, 3 or 4 chances, and then they had passed it well, played well, nice passing game, not lumping it up from the defence, not sitting back and defending, but having a go at us, passed through midfield, very nicely done. But it was still a shock when they scored with, I think, their first effort at goal, when the ball was fired into the box from the left-hand side. King let it go past him for some reason, and there's a guy behind him just to hit it into the net. Shocking, absolutely terrible. We thought that was bad. 2 minutes later, we're 2-0 down. Same position, same cross into the box from the same guy, same position practically. And this time, the guy jumped up in the air and gave it a wee flick with the back of his heel, and it went into the far corner. Now, well done the guy for jumping up and flicking it towards the goal, but there's no way he thought that was going to go in the net. So it just summed up the evening at that point. You thought it's one of these games when that kind of thing goes in and it's not Messi doing it, you know you're in trouble. So anyhow, that was just 2-0 down. Cue the boos, quite rightly. Everybody was disgusted, and thankfully we got the one goal before half time that turned the game, really gave us hope, gave us a chance. So nice pass, forward pass from King. McCausland had run in from the right wing. He got between two defenders, sort of shrugged them off, forced his way through them, prodded it towards goal, and luckily it went between the goalkeeper's legs and in the net. So we've got a bit of luck there, but we needed that goal before half time. Even then, those boos ringing out, so it would have been much worse if it had been 2-0. So that was rock bottom. Or at 2-0, we were at rock bottom. Everybody was so disgusted and furious. So that gave us a bit of hope. Second half, much better, more energy, more skill, more passing. Dundee didn't do very much going forward by now. So we had control of the game, had plenty of efforts at goal. The 4 goals in the second half were all decent goals. The first one, which was the equaliser, was the most vital, obviously, and thankfully that came early, and it was from a nice cross from with a bit of pace on it from Cantwell on the left, and for once Drossers actually jumped up and not only headed it, but headed it down with a bit of power. The goalie got his fingers to it, but it went into the net. So I reckon that's Drossers' best headed goal so far for us. That's more like it, from about 7 yards out. So well done him. 2 each. We know we're going to probably win at this point because we're dominating at this stage. And then we had various other chances. For instance, Silva had one saved by the goalkeeper. Yilmaz ran right up the middle, leaving about 3 guys in his wake, and fired one just over the bar. Drossers had another header, identical practically to his goal, but this time the goalie got down and flapped at it and palmed it away on the goal line practically. So that would have been another good goal if it had gone in. The third goal, when it came, was a fluke, obviously. Cantwell out in the right touchline practically. Was presumably trying to curl a cross into the strikers, but in fact it ended up just going underneath the crossbar in the far post, so it looked fantastic going in, but there was no way he meant that, so who cares. 3-2 up. It was looking as if we're going to win this now. Sub Scott Wright, not a Rangers fan's favourite, he came on and scored 2 in the last 5 minutes or whatever. So he did well, took his 2 goals well. First one across over the crowded box, and he's at the back post just slapping it in basically. And his final one, nice move from right to left, out to him on the left, took a couple of touches and curled a beauty into the far corner. So well done him. That's him, the cup final team, obviously. So 5-2, who'd have thought that when it was 2-0? So give him credit for coming back, showing resilience, showing a bit of grit and determination, no doubt, after being lambasted by the manager at half time. So on the whole, what did we take from that? Well, I thought the best guys obviously were Cantwell and Raskin, starting his first game from I don't know how long. So the 2 of them should have played themselves into the cup final team. Yilmaz as well. You can see the difference, a guy like him compared to Barisic. So there's 3 who should be certs for the cup final team. Hopefully Scott Wright will just be in the bench, although he likes Hampden, he scores at Hampden, but we don't want him starting a game against Celtic in a cup final. But there's 3 I've said who should get an appearance, and hopefully we'll get a few of the guys who were missing, of the 10, 11 missing last night. Hopefully they'll be back, at least available for selection for the cup final. I'm feeling slightly more optimistic now that I've seen Raskin, Cantwell, Yilmaz back on form. So here's hoping. One last effort, lads.